Did you know that Weedle can't learn any normal type moves? Did you know that Doduo can learn Fly? Oh, you did? Good. Then I'm gonna tell you some facts about Pokemon that you actually don't know. My name is Finn, and this is a long-running series on my channel where I and my community hunt down the most obscure Pokemon knowledge out there. So subscribe if you enjoy this kind of thing, and let's get right into it. In Pokemon Red and Blue, for some reason in Fuchsia City, by utilizing a walk-through walls cheat, we can access this little bit of land up here that would usually be completely inaccessible. But there's something really cool up here that was discovered in 2014 by Chickasaurus. By walking over to this tile and pressing A, you can find a copy of Fuchsia City's sign that is invisible but still fully functioning. It seems that maybe during the development of these games, the layout of Fuchsia City was slightly different and the sign was here, but during development was redesigned and the code for this sign was never deleted. So for this next fact in Pokemon X and Y, you can... Oh my god, it's here! This video is sponsored by Bespoke Post. Every Pokemon trainer needs items, and Bespoke Post is a subscription service that lets you fill out a personal quiz and get things like outdoor gear, barware, home and kitchen goods, clothing bags, things you need to set out and find real-life Pokemon, because they've got to be out there somewhere. Well, guess what? Everything I said is real except the Pokemon thing, and oh, there's another thing. Money. Every single box has a $70 value, but only costs $49. You also have the ability to preview your box beforehand and either swap it out for a different one or skip that month entirely at no cost. In my box, I got the Weekender travel bag, which I took on a cabin trip with my friends, and it was fantastic, but the choice is yours. Bespoke Post also gave me my own promo code, which is FIN20, to get you guys 20% off your first box, or just click the first link in the description. Thank you, Bespoke Post, and now back to the video. So this next one is something I've never seen mentioned on YouTube before, but I personally think is amazing. When researching unused content in Diamond and Pearl, you can find unused Pokétch applications, some of which are just placeholders, but one of them caught my eye that I thought was pretty funny. This app that is basically just a light switch. But what does it control? Well, it actually controls the backlight to the bottom screen of your DS. Clicking the switch will turn it on and off. I especially think this is weird because there's never been any kind of feature where the backlight of the bottom screen has ever been used, and it's possible it could have just been for development purposes, but pretty interesting nonetheless. This next one, I'm 100% positive you have never heard before. Shout out to Palmer6 on Twitter who discovered this entirely by themselves and then sent it to me. By the way, if you have a cool fact, feel free to DM it to me there or comment it down below. I read every single comment. Seriously. Palmer6 told me that they were messing around in the ROM of Pokemon Platinum, looking at data and map locations when he stumbled on something interesting. He noticed that there are 2 items in the entirety of this game that for some reason activate the same in-game script. And I'll explain what that means in a second. The first is located in Wayward Cave beside these 2 hikers. It's a hidden red shard behind this rock. The second item is also a red shard, but located along the mountain of Route 207. And on the surface, it may seem like they're just 2 red shards, but they actually aren't. They are the exact same red shard. Once you obtain one of them, it activates the same programming script as if you picked up either one, the same item, in 2 places at once. So this was another one sent to me by one of you guys on Twitter. Shout out to Gabby, who discovered something while creating a ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. This has to do with our favorite little dude's Dugtrio. If you were to look on Bulbapedia at Dugtrio's learn set of moves, it will say that it learns Scratch and then Sand Attack. And this of course is true, but kind of. For some inexplicable reason, the move order is slightly different between Fire Red and Leaf Green. In Leaf Green, Dugtrio will learn Sand Attack first and then Scratch, but that is reversed for Pokemon Fire Red. I'm not sure if this is the only time this happens, or if it may happen to other Pokemon in these games. but I've never heard anything about this, and I wonder why this change even exists at all. In 2013, a game released on the 3DS called Pocket Card Jockey. It was a card-based horse racing game, interesting choice I know, but was surprisingly developed by Game Freak. And as per usual, they've hidden some cool Pokemon references in this game. This time in the form of the names of racehorses, and here's just a few of them. There's a horse called Pika Pika Mouse, which is pretty obvious. There's one named Juniper after the Pokemon professor. There's one called Sylph Company, which is pretty great. And even two called Silver Soul and Gold Heart, which are clear references to those games. Poison Touch was an ability introduced in Pokemon Black and White that has a 30% chance to poison the Pokemon you're attacking. But this wasn't always the case. In the Japanese versions of these games, the chance to poison your foe was slashed down to just 20%. But if you were to set up a battle between a Japanese and an English version of the game, the player with the Japanese cartridge would still have this 10% disadvantage. I actually have one more really cool detail regarding Generation 5, the best generation. And in these games, after selecting your starter, you're forced into a battle with Bianca. And no matter what Pokemon you pick, you have a 99.9% chance to at least take a little bit of damage during this battle. But what if you don't? Well, if you are lucky enough to get multiple critical hits in a row, get some lucky misses or growls, or if you just hack in a stronger starter and get past this battle unscathed, Sharon will have an extra line of dialogue addressing this. I think it's super cool that this was even accounted for, because the chance of this happening is literally almost zero. In one of my recent videos, I talked about Jirachi's complicated history with shininess, and how its release as a gift Pokemon as a reward for completing the entire game of Pokemon Channel is one of the very few Pokemon that have never been found randomly shiny, aside from RNG methods, which are really interesting and I want to make a video about. But what if I told you there's a very interesting story with one of the most elusive shiny Pokemon of the last 10 years? Who also happens to be Jirachi. A gift Jirachi was distributed through a bonus disc with the game Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. And although many event Pokemon like this one were not supposed to be shiny, the Wishmaker Jirachi can. But shiny Jirachi from the Wishmaker event had never been found until very recently for a few reasons. The biggest, most glaring issue was the process of hunting this Pokemon. In order to receive just a Jirachi, you need to have a GameCube, a copy of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness with the American bonus disc, along with a Game Boy Advance, a copy of Ruby Sapphire Emerald, and a cable to connect both consoles. But the process in which you would actually shiny hunt this Pokemon is absolutely ridiculous as well. You have to create a new save file and play through a decent chunk of the game for every single encounter, which includes a rival fight that you have a pretty decent chance of losing and a long pathway of grass with tons of encounters in between. You also needed to power off your GameCube and Game Boy in between every single shiny check. But there was something strange about this Jirachi as well. You see, its relationship with shininess was slightly different than every other Pokemon before it. Because of a small coding error, Jirachi has a unique shiny chance, sitting at about 1 out of 7,200 instead of the normal 1 out of 8,192 shiny rate. So although this process was incredibly difficult, there was a slightly higher chance to find this Pokemon sooner rather than later. The idea of a shiny Wishmaker Jirachi had floated around for many years. Papa Hefe even created a great tutorial on how to find one using RNG abuse, but hardly anyone in the dedicated shiny hunting community ever dared to begin their journey of capturing footage of this Pokemon. That was up until the year 2020, when Niwarabi, a Japanese shiny hunter, unearthed the very first shiny Wishmaker Jirachi. This sent a wake through the community. and established the precedent for all shiny hunters. Jirachi was possible. In the year 2020, when everyone was home, the online shiny hunting community boomed. And this is actually when I first started making Pokemon content, looking for shiny Pokemon on Twitch. But maybe that's a story for later if you guys are interested. But little did everyone know, the rise in shiny hunting and a booming community was a perfect storm. Falling into place before our eyes was the most incredible coincidence in the history of Pokemon. Boblarka, a seasoned shiny hunting streamer who had been collecting the means to shiny hunt the Wishmaker Jirachi, was sitting at around 740 total resets, about 67 hours deep into the hunt, when he found it. Shiny Wishmaker Jirachi.
Are you saying, oh my god, we got it! We got it! We got it! We got it!
But about 3 hours later, it happened again.
Shiny Jirachi! Shiny Jirachi! Shiny Jirachi! Dude, that's 2 shiny Jirachis today in one day. Boblarka got shiny Jirachi today, and I got shiny Jirachi today.
Within less than a few hours, a shiny that had never been found through traditional shiny hunting means for almost 15 years was found twice on the same day. The second Jirachi was found by Bino after a grueling 6,272 encounters. The chances of this happening are so incredibly low that it is fair to say that this will most likely never happen again. Since this event over a year and a half ago, only 2 more shiny Wishmaker Jirachi have ever been found. And what I love about this phenomenon is that it was only possible through the community. Because if you find the world's first, most rarest, most interesting Pokemon, what does it matter if there's not someone to tell? So as long as people care about these obscure things, these overlooked mysteries and forgotten relics, then that means that incredible once-in-a-lifetime displays of pure impossible will happen. It's only a matter of when.